What's the one thing you think could truly make you happy? A raise? A new car? Winning the lottery? Whatever you believe would bring happiness, you're probably looking in the wrong places. Since the 1970s, research in psychology has been studying how people adjust to life changes. The results show that even if you achieve everything on your wish list, it won't keep you happy for long. The excitement from getting what you want doesn't last because humans are naturally wired to always want more. This constant feeling of dissatisfaction is so common that psychologists have given it a name, the hedonic treadmill. First introduced by researchers in 1971, the metaphor explains the universal tendency for people to return to a baseline level of happiness, no matter how good or bad life's events are. When something big and positive happens, like buying a new house or getting an amazing job, our happiness soars and life feels fantastic. But over time, we adjust to these changes and our happiness levels return to their usual state. In the end, it's a pointless pursuit. Even if we do find what we think will bring us happiness, we'll eventually return to our baseline, and as a result, our happiness will fade once again. If this all sounds a bit depressing, there's a positive side. The same principle applies to negative events as well. When people face a setback, like losing a job or going through a breakup, it usually won't affect them forever. The intense emotions fade over time, and people tend to bounce back to their usual level of happiness, often quicker than they expect. Some scientists believe we have a negativity bias, meaning we focus on negative or stressful things for our safety. If we didn't pay attention to potential dangers, it could have been fatal. Importantly, everyone's baseline happiness is different. Not everyone is a 7 on a 10-point scale. It varies depending on where you live, and much of the happiness research mainly focuses on wealthy Western populations. So, what determines your baseline happiness? Research in positive psychology suggests that about 50% of our happiness is determined by genetics. Another 10% may be influenced by life circumstances such as income, relationship status, and living conditions. These are the actions we choose to take that can improve our happiness. If you want to increase your overall happiness, this is where you should focus. In this video, we'll dive into the proven methods that can truly boost your happiness. When people are asked what would bring them lasting happiness, many say money. While extra cash can make us happy to a certain extent, it's balanced by time, which is the ultimate currency of happiness. For those on very low incomes, a significant increase in wealth can improve well-being because it brings stability and predictability. But once people are in a comfortable situation, the data shows that more money doesn't add much to happiness. In fact, spending all your free time trying to earn more money could backfire. Social relationships are a major factor in happiness, so if you're sacrificing weekends to work instead of spending time with family and friends, you're likely making yourself less happy. For those still working full-time, quitting a job entirely may not be realistic, but we can all make choices to take back some of our free time. One option is quiet quitting, only doing the tasks in your job description, with no extra work outside regular hours, no late nights or weekend emails. And for those retired, it means avoiding overwhelming responsibilities that lead to burnout. Enjoying this video? Hit subscribe to stay updated with essential health tips and the latest updates on our channel. Malcolm Gladwell popularized the idea that with 10,000 hours of practice, you could become a master at anything. But that magic number might not be as solid as we thought. In fact, sticking to the same routine may not be as good for your happiness as you think. Instead, we should aim for a routine with a variety of movements. This could mean boxing one day, football the next, and rock climbing or Pilates on the weekend. This helps prevent the boredom and dissatisfaction that comes from doing the same thing over and over. Starting something new can feel embarrassing. Whether it's hitting wrong notes on the piano, struggling in yoga, or drawing awkward shapes, our ego often stops us from enjoying activities because we're too focused on comparing our imperfect attempts to others' polished results. But there's a big benefit to being a beginner in something. It forces us to focus fully on the present moment. There's plenty of research showing how important fun is for our well-being, yet, too often, we don't make the most of this simple source of happiness. We end up thinking that happiness is something we can only have in the future, not in the present. Instead, we should seek out micro-joys, new hobbies or activities that give us immediate satisfaction and joy, without the pressure to improve or achieve specific goals. We often trick ourselves into thinking that setting new goals will help us escape the hedonic treadmill. This tendency is called impact bias. It describes our habit of overestimating how much a future event will affect our emotions and for how long. To improve this, it's helpful to write down your goals and evaluate how many are intrinsic, done for personal satisfaction, versus extrinsic, done for external rewards or to avoid negative consequences. Shifting your focus toward intrinsic goals can help you pursue objectives that stay fulfilling throughout the entire journey. The biggest drivers of the hedonic treadmill are often our friends, family, and the people we see on social media, people we don't really know. When we see people showing off things we don't have on social media, it can increase our desire to buy things that usually don't bring lasting happiness. On their deathbeds, people generally express two regrets. They wish they'd worked less and spent more time with loved ones. Yet, despite knowing this, many of us do the opposite. It's hard to make these choices when our environment constantly distracts us, encouraging consumption of things that give only short-term happiness. It may sound strange, but being in nature helps me clear my mind and recognize what truly meets my deeper needs versus what's just trying to sell me something. While the idea of striking up a conversation with a stranger on public transport might seem daunting, research suggests that even brief interactions with unfamiliar faces can boost your immediate happiness. Studies conducted on bus and train commuters in Chicago and London have shown that both introverts and extroverts experience a positive effect from talking to strangers. While engaging random people on the street may not appeal to everyone, joining a local hobby group like a book club can offer a similar benefit by allowing you to connect with new people. We hope you found these insights helpful and inspiring for improving your well-being. Remember, happiness is not just about moments of joy, but the habits and practices we integrate into our daily lives. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you won't miss more valuable tips. Share this with anyone who could use a little boost of happiness, and leave a comment below about which tip resonated with you the most. Stay happy and healthy, and we'll see you in the next video.